You'll see silver sparkles. You'll see a gold cord. You'll see it a lot of different ways, but you can see it because it really is there until it's detached. So it's a very important thing for people, especially, or it has to be for all new people learning to leave their bodies. Because if they stepped out of their body, they would never find it again. If they didn't learn how to work with angels and all the other things you got to learn while you're in the astral body, you're not ready for it. I can't take a baby and put him in college and say, okay, do this. They have no clue or can't do it. The same as once you're out of your body in another realm, dimension, you have no clue where to go, how to do it, what to do, what to say, how to be, any of those things. Some being walks up to you. What do you say? Hi? Wave your hand and hope he's not going to eat you or beat you or whatever. I'm just saying, by your mind's limitation and ideas, what it already has in its thinking. And then the other thing that I mention a real lot is called fear. If you step out of your body and haven't worked with the words I talk about often, is like protection, guidance, and all those words. When you step out of your body, not being protected leaves you vulnerable for a lot of different things. It allows your body.
When you refer to protection, are you referring to trusting your soul, to bring you back and all that stuff?
All right. In one way I am, in one way I'm not. Soul is who you are. It's not like you're trusting something outside, like in the bank or down the block or in the other side of the planet. It's you. So what you're doing is understanding yourself. That trust has to come from yourself being aware of who and what it is. And I explain that. That's experiencing and understanding God. Without that, being aware of yourself, I mean, that's why the astral plane is filled with a lot of people that don't stay there too long, because they're so filled with themselves and they think they're somewhere and then they realize they're not where they wanted to be. The protection is given to soul when it becomes aware. And it's because it knows how to do things now. Like if I put you out into a battlefield, I don't want to use that kind of scenario. Hold on, let me think of a better one. I put you in the ocean and you start swimming. And you say, I'm protected, and this shark comes swimming by. You have to know you can radiate a sound that will vibrate and make that shark move away. That's a form of the idea. But as we become stronger within soul can't be destroyed, period. Nothing can hurt it, nothing. If you can accept that, you realize that, which I learned when I was 6 years old. So when you realize that, you are protected from things like that. So it's a matter of really holding on to who you are as soul and really digging into that. I know it's hard. It's like, because we're so programmed in a lot of different ways not to understand it. Well, the mind says that the mind doesn't have anything to do with it. The mind, the physical mind stays in the body. And to say we all can experience the same thing. No, we cannot. Nobody can experience something somebody else has experienced. I mean, the idea of love, we all experience that. But the way the level, the vibration, and everything that comes out of it is to that individual person. So nothing's the same. No experience is the same. So you can't experience, well, that was their experience. George Washington had this experience. And he wrote a prophecy. And you should try to pull it up, because he wrote this giant prophecy about the future. Because he met with these, I'm trying to think, was it 4 angels or whatever? And they came to him. So when we deal with the protection, it's within. In the outer, you protect your house, you can burn sage and do things like that. But that was all mind created to protect us from the aspects. If you think an alien ship lands on your backyard and they come walk into the house, you burn sage, it's going to make them get back on their ship and leave. That's a little bit kind of ridiculous. But if you're aware and say, increase your spiritual energy and let it outpour from your body, it will drive them away. Soul is the highest we can go in the lower realms. The body form is limited to whatever it looks like and whatever it has. If it has wings, obviously it can fly. But whatever it's limited to is the body is limited by many things. Food, air, water, breathing, and all those things. Soul doesn't need. So, I mean, some people get claustrophobic when they get out of their body. Some people just panic when they get out of their body. It's because they have no training. They weren't told anything. Don't know how to look for anything positive or right in that space. We each can go a lot of different ways with that. But for you is what I'm saying is the protection comes from within, and it's awareness that you are a part of something greater that does reflect to you in its own way. So as you become aware of that, that just gets stronger.
Okay. For example, for individuals who are having their first experience, obviously they're not aware or they don't have the knowledge yet. Are they at risk more or not? I mean, is that how it works?
Well, see, I give people little tidbits to work with. If it's your first time you're doing a meditation, I always say create this protection before you go into it. Whatever you believe in, hopefully you have some kind of belief. If you don't, it's going to be harder. It really is. But whether it is to Jesus, whether it is to an angel, or whatever it is to God, just know there is something there, something that is real. And it will always try to help you move forward. It doesn't want you to move backwards. It doesn't create life to see it go backwards. It creates life to see it move forward. So when we take that step forward and say, okay, I'm ready, just stepping into that, being in that space. But see, here's the other thing. You're going to experience things that the mind doesn't understand. So that freeness of being attached to this horrible body is going to be so incredible if you look at it that way. But my body's there. If you think of the body, the mind will pull soul back into it. Now, here's one other thing that goes with that. When you're getting ready to go to sleep and the mind's starting to shut down, right before you fall asleep is the easiest time soul has getting out of the body. Because the mind's not saying you can't do it. And it can real easy. But at the same time, when you're in meditation or you're doing an exercise and you're starting to leave your body, you'll feel it. You'll feel pressure on the back of your head, your throat, your forehead, different places. And you'll know soul's getting ready to leave. But say, what I tell you when you do get out of the body, whatever is there, and this you need to do, if you are afraid or have feelings or emotions, whatever you feel in that moment, is what you really need to base everything on. If you feel fear, if you feel anything, and something's coming towards you, I say challenge it. And I do that in the physical world, and people hate it because nobody wants their lives to be brought out to public. So when you challenge it, it'll have to say who and what it is. The inner worlds have laws. Planet Earth has its laws, but they're not the kind of laws that we perceive. We got to breathe air, we got to die, and all these kind of laws. In the astral plane, the laws are a lot different. You don't have to die, you don't have to eat, you don't have to breathe, you don't have to, all those things. There are different realities, so the laws are different. If I can't kill you, I can't say I'm going to punish you to death if you kill somebody. But you can't. See, the laws are so different. So when you step from the laws of the physical world into a world where the laws are a lot different, the soul body is aware of it, but it still has the mind in the body controlling the body, which has a silver cord connecting it. So that's still bringing you back to the mind state. So you really have to balance out that spot before it's totally open and clear for you. So when you leave in your body, you feel that numbness, or you feel this, yeah, tell yourself, don't be afraid. It's I'm having an experience. I'm getting ready to leave. It's great. Always tell yourself it's good. Keep the positive energy within that. I mean, I don't say having a positive idea of the world and make it better. No, we can only do what we can do. And the saying is, I'm not here to change the world. Many people believe they are. But when you're doing your exercise and you're leaving, the protection is you. The protection is where you focus on and how much you focus on that. When you step out of your body, whatever you see, usually if you're aware and you're in tune, and you've been starting to do your exercise a couple times, the energy will be in balance. So a guide or an angel will come to you. We all have them, whether we accept them, work with them, find them. All those things are up in the air to a person's level of awareness. But when a guide comes to you, that's the next thing. Don't be afraid, and don't tell it what you want to do. It already knows what you want. That's why it's there. It'll take you where you need to go. You don't know where you need to go. I want to go to see the Statue of Liberty. No, that's not where you need to go. I want to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Not where you need to go. So where you need to go is where they will take you. If you start challenging your guides, you will lose that too. And you'll lose the ability to travel into the astral plane. If you think you're better than them, I mean, you can become at a higher awareness than they are. But if it's only the first time you're leaving your body, you sure have no clue how to get around in the astral plane. So until you know how to travel the astral plane, it's not a place that you have. It's like saying, if I was going to go to the moon, do I have to drive around the world to get to the moon? Of course not. But if you don't know that, you don't know how to get there. So you're going to follow the roads, and the roads don't go to the moon. So when a guide comes to you, they know where your direction's headed, because guides get assigned to the beings or the souls that are relating to what they know. They all had experiences. They all have awareness based on their experiences, the same as we do. It might be for a much longer time and in a greater aspect, but it's still their experience they went through. I mean, if you're falling into a love situation, you're not going to get some being that's like destructive and evil, even though I got both. I got the love side and I got the destructive side. So I got both all the time. But here's a scenario which I'll throw in. They say spirit only gives you what you can handle. It's a little bit different. It's the more you can handle, the more spirit's going to throw at you. It's contradictory to that statement, because you always get a little more than you can deal with, because that little more is making you move and push harder. If it was what you can deal with, you're going to break your ankle. So what? I can sit in the cast. It'll get better. You lose a child, you lose your friend, you lose a family. It's a little harder to deal with because you just can't get it back. So the experiences are always going to push you much harder than you want to go. It's never about what you want, which people think it's all about what they want. All the spiritual people that came to this planet, they each had a level of awareness. They had their experiences from lifetimes, whether they remembered them all or not. But they have what they feel is important, and that's what they're going to try to bring out to this world. Buddha did it. Jesus did it, Muhammad, Elijah, all those beings. But what is it really? Is it helping the world? Is it helping their ego? The greatest spiritual people, and I just wrote this to somebody I know. Why is it, all through history, since the beginning of time, the most spiritual people are always killed? Shot, murdered, poisoned. A few of them died of incredible sicknesses and stuff, but they're killed or murdered. You would think if somebody's on a spiritual path, they'd be the last ones to be taken out. See, mankind is more attached to the physical world than the spiritual world. So when I talk about getting protection and everything else, it's learning to let go of the attachment we have to this world, because this is a dead world. I don't know if people want to hear the word dead, hell. I call it hell as well, because this is the only place in God's worlds where you can see, feel, and experience pain and suffering. Oh, well, you go to hell. No, you're in hell. How could you go somewhere where you already are? Because take the soul out of this body, it doesn't have joint pain, it doesn't have a cancer, it doesn't have any of those things. So you can't say the pain that soul can suffer is the same as what we can in the body.